Okay, so coming up, standing tall on your mat. Let's just start with just arms at our sides and roll the shoulders a few times. And then let's roll the other direction. And then let's do a big one where the arm circles with us. And let's switch the direction. And then arms just resting. I'm just going to turn sideways. Just take your hips forward and take your hips back. So as you come forward, your heels will lift off the floor a little bit, and then maybe your toes as your hips go back. And if you can, try to add a pause before you flow to the next position. And then from here, let's add a few rolls, the outside, inside of our feet. And then we're just gonna pause, standing tall. Rotate your thumbs back a little bit here. Start to reach the fingertips down towards the floor. And then as you do that, lift the head up. So imagine a string, and it's gonna pull your head up towards the ceiling. And you have the invitation to close your eyes if you want. Each breath, just continue to let the shoulders sink down away from your ears as you just keep growing taller with each breath. And the next breath, beginning to take your arms up above you. You're gonna lock your thumbs together. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lean over to one side, reach out, over to the other, and then switch. So making like a big U out in front of you. Your hips will just follow wherever they do. And then next time that you come up, just reach up tall here. Try to pull the arms behind the ears just a little bit. Press down through your feet. Keep breathing. Then take and extend, lift over to one side. Press down through your feet a little bit more. Switch it to the other side. Good. As you come up, arms down at your side here. Take and press your right foot down into the floor. We're going to take and just lift the left foot up in front of us. Just coming into a balanced position. And then from here, add a bent knee, bring it up. And then as we set that foot down, let's take it to the other side, straight up in front of us to begin with. And then knee straight up, hold here. As your foot comes down, take and step the legs wide here. Take and turn your toes out. We're going to do a big inhale, reaching up. As we exhale, bend the knees, hands can come down. Inhale, sweep it right back up. And as your hips start to loosen up, see if you can drop your hips down a little bit more. One more time, as the arms come up above you, hold them up above, and then reach across. Press down through the opposite heel. Coming up, switch sides. And then arms coming down. Doesn't matter which direction, just rotate your feet until you come into a lunge position here. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna bend and straighten one leg. And then next breath, we're gonna take and switch the position of our feet. You're gonna turn the other way, same thing, bend and straighten that front knee. Okay, now we're gonna add what's called the rainbow. So arms are gonna sweep down. You're gonna come up, start to switch your feet, other direction, hands come down, take it up, sweep around. If you wanna touch the hands towards the floor and then sweep and arch up and over, you can do that. The next time that you come towards the center, you can just take your hands down, walk your feet in, and then from here, we're gonna go to the top side of our mat. So we're gonna keep going through just some flowing movements here. So we're gonna start with sweeping the arms out in front of you, reaching up. As you bow forward, extend the arms behind you, reach them up towards the ceiling. And then hands down towards your toes. Bend the knees a little bit here. Hands coming down the shins, lift halfway up, spine straight. And then next breath, bend the knees, sit back, chair pose. Pull the hips back a little. Stand all the way back up. So again, arms reach out in front of you. Let's add a little bit of a shift of the hips forward as we lean back. And then we're gonna take the arms down, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Hands come down towards the feet. Take the hands on the shin, lift halfway up. Bend the knees, chair pose. All the way back up tall. So we're gonna do that at least 2 more times through here. So arms reach, hips move forward, lean back. Falling all the way down, fingertips up towards the ceiling. Forward fold, then a halfway lift, and then eventually chair pose. All right, so let's go through that at least 1 more time here. If you go a little bit faster, that's okay. And then eventually making your way into mountain pose after you've cycled through that. Next, exhale. So let the shoulders come up as you inhale, and then exhale, drop the shoulders down here. Next, inhale, sweep the hands out in front of you. Again, hips can come forward, lean back a little bit. Exhale, take it down. Again, we'll sweep those fingertips up towards the ceiling. Then as the hands come down, we're gonna bend the knees here. Right foot's gonna stay forward, left leg's gonna come back. Let's drop that left knee down, top side of the foot. Hand's gonna come onto the front knee, and we're just gonna guide the knee forward and use the hand to kind of extend you back. Hands coming down, you're gonna tuck the back toes here, lifting that knee up. We're gonna come all the way up now into a crescent lunge, palms forward. Draw your tailbone down. Good, next breath, hands coming down, keep the hips high, step it back, downward facing dog. From here, switching into plank position. Drop to the knees if you'd like to, all the way down onto the belly. Hands are gonna stay right where they're at. Little bit of a back bend here. Releasing the heart down, tuck the toes, hips high, downward facing dog. And now from here, left leg is gonna step up in between the hands. You're gonna drop that back knee. Hands onto the knees, you extend back. Hands coming down, tuck the back toe. Now we'll come up into a standing lunge. Fingertips reach. And then with your next exhalation, hands are going to come down. Take the back foot, step it up, fold all the way up. Hands on the shins, lift halfway up. Sit a back chair pose. Standing all the way up, again, hips forward, lean back. Fold it out, fingertips up towards the ceiling. Bend the knees, hands down, left foot back, drop the knee. Hands on the knee, stand back. Release it down. We're gonna come into that standing lunge now, so transition upward. We're gonna add one little thing to here. So we're gonna take the hands behind us. You're gonna interlock them. You're gonna bow forward over the front leg, and again, reach the knuckles up and away from you. So press the knuckles and the back heel away. Hands coming down, step the foot back, downward facing dog. Chain come into plank. Knees coming down if you want, all the way onto the floor. Heart's gonna lift up. Tuck in the toes, downward facing dog. Left foot's gonna come up into the low lunge as we drop the knee, hand onto the front knee. And then from here, we'll come into the standing version of our lunge. Hands behind your back, switch the interlacing as you bow forward. Hands coming down, step it up, fold it out. Hands on your shins. And then sit back chair. Come all the way up, standing up tall, mountain pose, arms at your side. So a little rest right here. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Next breath, bend the knees, hands out in front of you, chair pose. We're gonna hold here. So pull the knees back a little bit. Okay, we're going to lift the heels, tap down. When you lift the heels, it's kind of easy to roll out to your pinky toes and the knees to splay out. So push your big toe down. All right, heels down, fold it out. Next inhalation, sweep your arms to the outside. Extend arms all the way up as you stand up tall, and then your arms coming at your sides. Okay, you're gonna put your weight into your right foot. Left leg's gonna hover in front of you. So like the balancing movement we did in our beginning warm up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep this foot lifted and come into a one-legged squat up and down. Okay, so try not to kick your hip out. Got to go back. Keep pulling your right knee back so it's not going forward at all. And if you have to tap down the left foot for balance at any time, do that. Two more times. Last one, come into mountain. And now let's switch it other side. One-legged squat. Two more. Good, stand up tall, mountain pose. Okay, from here, we're gonna take the right leg. We're gonna bring it up in front of us, like we did in the beginning of class. From here, this right leg's gonna step back into our lunge position. Okay, back knee is gonna tap down and up, and you can just hover or you can tap it, up to you. In this, make sure you're drawing your tailbone down so you're not swaying the back, but you're in a neutral spine. Three more. Last one. Coming up, front knee is still bent. Interlock the hands, fold over that front leg, knuckles up and over. Hands releasing here. You're gonna upright your torso. You're gonna shift your weight to the front leg, lift the back leg up, stand and balance. Next breath, take and step that foot down. Okay, so now we got left leg is gonna lift up. We'll step it back into our lunge. Now we got those knee drops. Last one. Good, from here, interlock the hands, come forward, knuckles up. Knuckles come down here. Take the back leg, step up, balance. And then foot coming down, mountain pose. So if you're not where you can go into a flow, turn on your mat so that you're in a position you can go into a flow. We're gonna reach the hands forward, or up and back, hips come forward. We're gonna come all the way down, forward fold. From here, right foot will stay to the front, left foot will come back. We're gonna drop the knee down initially into our hip flexor stretch. And then we're gonna tuck the toes, lift the knee all the way up into a lunge. And we're just gonna switch that right into a warrior two. So palms turn up, bend into that front knee. Next breath, reverse it. We're gonna hold this reverse. So knee tracks forward and fingertips lengthen back. Try to stretch the whole side body. From here, arms at your side, straight out. You're gonna straighten the front leg. Take your fingertips, reach them forward. We're just gonna hold. So obliques have got to support you here. Now take the arm down, let it hover right above your leg, opposite arm straight up. From here, bending into that front leg, take your hands down, spin the back foot, downward facing dog. We have 3 breaths here. That next exhalation, transition into plank position. Come down onto the knees if you want, all the way down onto the belly. This time we'll rest onto our elbows as we open up the front side of the chest. Gazing down at our hands, let's open the hands really wide. And then from here, we're going to take and lift the hips up, hold in a forearm plank. If you want, you have the option of lifting the knees as well. Next breath, releasing the hips down. Slide the hands right underneath the armpits, downward facing dog. From here, we're going to step our left foot up in between our hands. Right knee is going to drop into our hip stretch. Hands coming down, tuck the back toes. We're going to come all the way up into that standing lunge just for a moment, and then we're going to transition into our warrior 2. Next breath, reverse it. Keep breathing as you hold. Arms back at the side of the body, straighten the front leg. Lean forward, we'll hold. Left hand down, right arm up. Bending into that front knee, both hands down, take the back leg, step it up, fold it out. Hands on your shins, halfway lift. And then sit it back, chair pose. Standing up nice and tall, mountain pose. From here, you're going to shift your weight towards your right foot. We're going to bend the left knee. Okay, so balancing, but now we're going to take it into that one-legged squat again, up and down. Really watching that our hips don't slide out. We have 2 more. Your next one, bring that knee up, hold. Your transition, the leg back behind you. We have that crescent lunge, tap the knee down and up. One more. Transition your weight to the front leg, lift it up, hold and balance. Leg coming down, switch, opposite side right away, leg behind you, one-legged squats. 2 more. Good leg coming up in front of you. Transition it back, lunge. Drop the back knee. One more time. Bring it back up, stand up, balance here. Leg coming down. Turn towards the front of your mat. We're gonna go through that really long series of movements again. So hips forward, lean back, bow all the way out. Bending the knees, right foot's forward, left foot's back. We're gonna change this stretch just a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk our hands over to the left side of our body. You can look back at your heel. Walking the hands back to the center here. You're gonna keep your left hand down. Right arm's gonna come out like a wing. And then you're gonna start to rotate the right fingertips up. Right hand coming down, tuck the back toes, lifting all the way up into that crescent lunge, and then flowing right into our warrior two. We're gonna reverse it. Hold the reverse. Reach back with your right fingertips. Arms back out at your side, straighten the front leg, lean forward, hold. Right arm down, left arm up. Bending into that front knee, hands will come down, step back, down dog. Next breath, flowing into plank, hold at the top. We're gonna add a few little push-ups here. So if you want, come down to your knees. We're gonna do elbows right next to the ribs, press up. Gaze will be a foot in front of you, so back of your neck is long here. Two more. Last one, come all the way down onto the belly. You're gonna rest on your elbows. And then we're gonna lift the hips up. You have the option to lift the knees, tuck the toes. Knees come down, come into, again, a chest opener here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit of a side plank flow to this. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll towards your right hand's gonna roll in, you're gonna roll to that right hip, left arm's gonna lift up. You're gonna pause for a second here. You're gonna come back down, you're gonna switch it to the other side. So just slowly going side to side. We got one more time on each side. When you're done with that last one, you're just gonna rest onto your elbow. With a chest opener here, you can flip the palms up if you wanna challenge the shoulders differently. Next exhalation, hands come down, tuck the toes, down dog. And from here, we're gonna step that left foot up, right knee is going to drop down. We're gonna walk our hands towards the right, looking at our back heel. And then from here, as you walk back in, right hand will stay down, left arm like a wing to start with. Now let's add that twist as we open up. Hand coming down, tuck the back toe. We have that crescent lunge, and then lifting straight up into our warrior two. We're gonna reverse it as we reach back. And then arms out at our side, straighten that front leg. Hold just the extension. One hand down, opposite arm out. Bending the knee, both hands down. From here, we're gonna step it back into child's pose. So a break here, a pause. You can do palms facing down, palms facing up, hands wide, knees wide. You can kind of finding what works best for your body. Maybe it feels appropriate to take a big inhale in, and on your exhale, at a just a big sigh, letting go. And as you take these few breaths, just checking in with your body. And as we enter into kind of starting to slowly cool down, just honoring whatever you're noticing your body needs. Next breath, we're going to take and come up onto hands and knees. We're going to lift this right knee up off the floor so it's just hovering above it, which is going to require the transverse abs and obliques to kick on here. So we're going to start with doing is we're just going to slide this right knee up towards our wrist. We're going to pause there, which again, stomach muscles will have to work a little bit harder. And then we're going to do a full extension back, which is glutes. And then again, we're just going to, it's going to be really slow. Bring it in, stomach, extend out, glutes. If you want a little bit more work, walk your hands forward so you're in more of a plank position, and then come back. Okay, one last time. Take it down. As you come back onto all fours, so a quick flip of the palms up, so fingers towards each other. Try to straighten out the arms as much as you can. Hands coming back down. Let's hover that left knee. And again, we'll move in the same thing. Knee towards the elbow, full extension back. Make it harder as you go. Last one. By walking the hands back in underneath you, we're going to take the right arm up into a twist. While you're there, just circle the hand and going the other way. Let's switch that other side. Circling the wrist, reversing it, hand coming down. Okay, we're gonna take again, hover the right knee, you're gonna flex your foot, you're gonna press your heel up so you come 90 degrees, then you're gonna bring this knee right towards your heart, pull it up towards the heart, straight back up. So as you're moving in this position, try not to have the hips shift towards the left. So you can look right at this left hip, make sure it's not jaunting out. Okay, now we're gonna keep this leg up. You're gonna take and shift your weight to your right hand. Left arm's gonna come back behind you. You're gonna turn your thumb upward here, trying to reach your fingertips towards your heels. It's not necessarily gonna touch. Take and release. As you come down, add a cat pose here. And then release. Take and flip to the opposite sides of the hands here for a moment. Wrist stretch. Palms back down. Now we got that left leg. Bring it in and then flex the foot, knee lift, same height as your hip. Two more. Hold that last one. Right fingertips come back, thumb up. As you release, again, cat pose. And then take and release into child's pose. Again, maybe you want to take a really big sigh breath in, and then exhale, let it all go. Let's take two more breaths here. Next breath, as you come up, you're gonna keep the left hand down, and what we're actually gonna do with the left hand is we're gonna make a fist, which is just gonna require our arms to work differently here. Left leg is gonna come down, you're gonna turn into a side plank. Right arm's gonna come straight up. Lift the right leg, flex the foot, it's gonna be a hold here. Right leg, we're gonna bend the knee, extend it straight back out. It's another glute activation. Two more. Flip to the palm. You can either do side plank right here, lifting the knee, or both legs straight, lift up, hold. Draw the head back a little bit. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hand will come down. From here, come up on to the knees. You're gonna bring your hands to your lower back. We're gonna start to draw the elbows and shoulder blades towards one another. So just work that first, which might open up the front sides of the chest a little bit. And then start to use the hands to press the hips forward. Lean back a little bit, sternum lifts up and back. Coming up here, you're gonna switch to the other side plank. So we're gonna be on that right knuckles. Left leg is gonna be lifted, arm up. Okay, so the first thing we have here is those curls. One more time. Release it down, come into your version of side plank. And then releasing down here. Come on to all fours. Left arm is gonna lift up into our twist. And then you're gonna take this left arm, feed it underneath the right, and then sneak the right arm out in front of you. Turn your shoulders down towards the floor. Walking that right hand back in, back to all fours, left arm reaching up, or sorry, right arm reaching up. And then thread it underneath, again, opposite arm reaches forward. Bringing the hands back in. We're gonna take and have a seat. And what we're gonna do is legs are gonna come out long in front of us. We're gonna come all the way down onto our back. So you can just take the arms out in front of you, slowly start to roll down. And then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna start with the right leg. And the right toes are going to be facing straight up towards the ceiling. And we're just going to lift this right leg just so that our heel is the same height as our opposite big toe. And we're going to come straight back down. And you don't even have to set the right leg down onto the floor. You can just kick it down, let it hover right back up. So it's a movement that strengthens deep internal core muscles and then gets the quadriceps as well. Two more on this side. Okay, relax that leg, maybe shake it, and then let that leg soften. Other side, heel up and down. Two more. Last one, legs and relax again. Sway it if you need. Okay, now you're gonna take this right leg, turn the toes out as far as they will go here. And now you're gonna lift with the heel, come up and down. So now we're taking it, switching a little bit. Quads will work just slightly, but now it's more of inner thighs. Last one here. Again, relax it. And then switch to the left heel. Last lift. Let's go into bent knees and add just a little rock here of the hips, right to left. Coming center, we're gonna cross the left ankle over top of the right knee. And then from here, we're going to stretch the right leg straight up towards the ceiling. This left knee may collapse in towards your chest. So what you can do is take your hand onto your knee and gently guide that knee away. And now let's bend the right knee. And you can decide to stay here. Maybe you add a rock. Maybe you bring the hand behind the knee, squeeze it in. So we have about 30 more seconds here. So you find what your hips, glutes need to release here. From here, come into bent knees again, arms just at your side. We're gonna take a couple of breaths here. Now let's cross opposite leg. Start with the left leg straight up to begin with. And maybe placing your hand on the right knee, guide it away. And then starting to bend that left knee, moving into whatever you'd like for hip opener here. We got about another 30 seconds. Slowing down your breath here. And then we're going to extend both legs long. Arms are going to come up overhead. From here, we're going to take our torso and we're going to lean it to the left, but make sure your left shoulder, not left, sorry, your right shoulder, right arm still are resting onto the ground. You're going to take your legs to the left as well. Keep your right hip down. So you're still flat on your back. Your next breath, start to reach your right fingertips and your right heel away from you more. And what that's going to do is it's going to create greater length in the right side of the body. Now, if you want, cross your right leg over top of the left. And now I add a little stretch to the outside hip into IT band, possibly the TFL. Come back to the center here. Let's bring the knees into the chest in case that felt uncomfortable in your back. You can add a rock here if you want. Go back out into that full extension. Upper body moves to the right. And then let's add our legs moving to the right as well. Try to reach through the left fingertips, left heel. Big breaths into the belly, trying to get all these deep inner torso muscles to soften. Maybe crossing that left ankle over top. And then coming center, again, bringing the knees in towards the chest, adding whatever movement you'd like here. And then let's come into a twist. So taking the arms at our sides, start to drop your knees over to one side, maybe turning your head the opposite direction. And then bringing your knees up, drop them over to the other side. As your knees come up, you have the option of ending class with just the knees in towards your chest, or you can extend the legs long, arms at your side. So pick and choose what you think would feel the most appropriate for your body today. In whichever version you come into, on your next exhalation, just drop your shoulders. Let go of the tension within your face. Let the eyes softly close. Starting to tune out all external stimuli. Giving permission for the mind and the heart to be at rest. Not needing to process any information. Just enjoying each breath. Letting each breath renew the cells of your body. In each breath, to renew your mind and your heart. Filling yourself with rest and peace. Notice what might be pulling you away from peace, what things distract you. Seeing if you can let those go as you exhale. Your next breath, gently moving your body, starting to roll onto your side. Taking a couple of full deep breaths onto your side. And then as you come all the way up to seated, start nice and tall. And eventually on an exhalation, let your chin sink down towards your chest, shoulders relaxed. And you can gently move the head a little bit right to left. And then chin coming down towards your chest. Next inhalation, sweep your arms to the outside, reach all the way up, maybe chin coming up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hands coming back down. Again, let's do that again. Inhale, arms reaching all the way up. And then exhale, arms coming back down.